Happy Groundhog's Day, Terry Holloman.
It is once again.
It is once again, and also joining us this Groundhog's Day evening, Jackie Cunningham. Hey, Jackie, it's been a bit.
I can't see you, so I'm just imagining you both look fabulous. And
yeah, I actually feel like I look really good tonight. I don't know what it is. Terry looks fantastic.
Oh no, I don't. I have on a drab gray hoodie.
I'm kind of bummed we have 6 more weeks of winter.
Yeah, Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow, so that's happening. But one thing I wanted to bring up today, because Groundhog Day, or is groundhogs, whatever it is.
Let's clear that out before we get started.
Let's do that. Okay.
Because I did that today. I was trying to do a hashtag, and I put Groundhog's Day, and I was like, is that right? Or is it just singular Groundhog Day?
For Punxsutawney.
So. I think it's singular for Punxsutawney.
Groundhog Day. But isn't the Bill Murray film, which is the topic I want to get into, isn't the Bill Murray film, it's Groundhog's Day?
Yeah, because it keeps going over and over and over.
Oh, maybe that's the reason.
Like, because he has to keep living it.
So both trend, Punxsutawney Phil trends today every year, and my favorite year is the year that it bit Bill de Blasio, which is amazing. It's groundhogs are like kind of angry creatures.
They're
and
so
like
cute though. I want one.
They're adorable. True.
They're fat and cute and fuzzy.
But then they get yanked out of this cage. Some person they never see the other 364 days a year. It's like the worst stepdad visit ever.
Yeah,
all of a sudden just wants this hug and like gets up close to you and so it's shadow. So not only does the holiday trend today, but so does the movie.
Okay.
And I like that movie, but I started thinking about the career of Bill Murray today. Is Bill Murray a tad bit overrated? Because I feel like we should go around the panel here a little bit.
Yeah.
I started thinking about some of the films that he's best known for that I only enjoy at this point because of sentimentality. And I'm trying to think of an actual time that Bill Murray made me laugh in a film or in a sketch on Saturday Night Live.
Gosh, and that's been a while too.
It's been a long time. He has made me laugh with his antics off screen when he does weird things, with where he just approaches people out on the street. That's funny. But Terry, I want to ask you first. We've all seen probably at least half a dozen, if not a dozen, Bill Murray films. And he's almost like in God status at this point. Does he deserve to be? And if he does, name the film that should elevate him to that status.
Well, here's the challenge with that. I think if you ask 2021 Terry that question, you'll get a different answer than the Terry you would have asked in like 1982.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because I remember probably around 1982, 81, whenever it was, when like Stripes came out. I thought Stripes was the most hilarious thing I'd ever seen when I was like in the first grade, second grade, right? Like
little Terry.
Yeah, little Terry who wasn't supposed to be watching that. I can
Rated R.
Word from Stripes. Army training, sir. Like all that stuff, right? And that was hilarious. And then flash forward to 2020 when we were in the midst of the pandemic and the quarantine, locked in the house, and I'm searching for things to watch that my family might enjoy that were like would take me back to the good old times. So we're locked in. I say, hey, we're living Groundhog Day every day. Let's watch Groundhog's Day. And I was incredibly underwhelmed.
Then you were embarrassed that you brought it up. You're like, we don't have to finish this, you guys.
I kind of wanted to say that halfway through, Jackie, but that was like I was too invested in it. And then I was like, well, let's just keep watching it and see where it goes.
Yeah.
It just wasn't what I remembered it to be.
Right. But then again, you were also second grade Terry. So everything was like, oh my gosh, I'm watching an adult film, which that sounds bad. That sounds really bad that you're watching an adult film. You know what I mean?
It wasn't a blue film. It was an adult.
Jackie, you did bring up like this isn't 1982 Terry, but we're talking about a career now that has spanned decades, and arguably he's more cult-like and more elevated in people's minds as this canonized superstar than he's ever been. What are your thoughts of his career over the decades?
Gosh, it's funny because as soon as you brought him up, I could think of Stripes and Groundhog's Day. And wasn't there like What About Bob?
What About Bob?
Yeah, remember that?
Rewatch that, see if you like it.
I know, right? So it's almost like he's this legend, but I only remember Ghostbusters. Right?
We need to talk about Ghostbusters in a second.
But I feel like nowadays it makes me laugh that people say that he just shows up at people's birthday parties and he will just show up at things to trip people out. So I feel like I'd probably like him as a person. But as far as his acting, I'm kind of like, maybe I'm not remembering all the SNL stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
early SNL, and people always, since SNL started, since season 2, people have been saying it's not as good as it used to be.
Yeah.
Bad SNL today, the worst episode that aired last season is 10 times, I would argue, as funny as anything that happened in the first 3 years, maybe 5 years.
Yeah.
Like the Killer Bees, the cheeseburger, all the Belushi stuff stinks. It just doesn't age well.
Yeah.
And I enjoy the films that made Bill Murray. You know, Terry, you brought up Stripes. Of course, there's Caddyshack.
Oh God, Caddyshack. That's right.
Caddyshack. Watch Caddyshack as an adult.
Is it
you will have fond memories of it. You know, there's Cinderella Story. The groundhog again. There's is it a ground? Yeah, there's groundhog in that movie. Weirdly enough,
whatever it was.
A gopher. You're right, gopher.
Oh,
yes,
see, I love gophers too. What's my deal with like groundhogs and gophers? Like, I want them as a pet.
Yeah, well, you have a pig as a pet,
That's
so
true.
you go for non-traditional pets.
And I'm single, which is shocker when you put all these things together.
Yeah, well, if you had to go for to the pet regimen, I'm single will be a forever sentence.
It would forever, yes. I start wearing like sweatshirts bedazzled with squirrels and things on them. So yeah.
Or a ferret.
No, I will not go that
ferret is the end of the road.
It stinks.
Is the bottom. Yeah.
But Caddyshack, if you watch Caddyshack now, you'll have fond memories of it. Like, it's not that I don't enjoy it. It's just the same way, Terry. I don't not enjoy Stripes, but I don't laugh.
Yeah.
I see where they're trying to make jokes. And then let's move on to Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters definitely made Bill Murray, he was a star before that, but like a household name, like a star. Ghostbusters stinks.
No, it's almost like the original is like a bad sequel now to a movie.
It's bad.
You know what I mean?
But for those who might be listening or watching and are from a younger generation than we were, I don't think you can make people understand how big of a thing Ghostbusters was when it came out. It was huge, like international blockbuster, stop the press. Everybody's talking about Ghostbusters.
Because everything was hype back then, and we had to go to the movie theater, and we had to like invest in it. You know what I mean?
And
like,
they used to do this too. There would be a soundtrack to a motion picture, which was a big deal. Someone would write a song for the movie.
Yeah.
And is it Ray Davis Jr. or Ray Parker Jr.?
Ray Parker Jr.
Like that song, there's still really only like 3 or 4 Halloween songs. There's like Thriller, Monster Mash, and the Ghostbusters song. And that's it. So even if you've never seen that film, you're familiar with the song.
Exactly.
But go back and watch the film. And then if you're
I'm scared too, though. Like part of me always thinks it's like my same theory of never wanting to meet anybody that was on Friends. Like, because if they're horrible to me, then I will never be able to watch Friends again. So I feel like now that I'm remembering all these movies as being funny, if I watch them again, like Terry did, then I'm going to be like, it'll ruin my childhood or my adult, growing up.
It kind of did. It kind of ruined it for me. Like I was like, this was it. Like I thought there was more magic to it when I watched it.
I did make my daughter watch 16 Candles because I felt like that was such a classic film from when I was growing up. I was like, Bailey, you have to watch this, and she loved it. So there will be some that will stand the test of time.
Whoa, Jackie. 16 Candles in a lot of ways does not stand the test of time.
Okay, first of all, Jake Ryan will always be the most beautiful man on the earth.
Jake Ryan is young Matt Dillon. They look the same.
But he's so much prettier. So much prettier.
Let's look over the things that happen in that, Jackie.
Okay.
A woman falls asleep and Anthony Michael Hall has sex with her while she's asleep. She wakes up next to him. He tells her that and she's just like, "Was it good?"
And then she's like, I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of I guess you're right. That's sort of a PSA now. But
and then Long Duck Dong.
Dong.
That character does not age. I mean, that character didn't age into 1987.
Okay. So any girl you ask, if you say Jake Ryan, 16 Candles, they will be like, oh my gosh, absolutely.
Right.
I mean, you just can't beat it. So she had to experience that. And at the end, Molly Ringwald, who's really not that pretty, she's just sort of a very average ginger girl, got Jake Ryan. So it gave us all hope.
You just injected another aspect to it that I never considered. That wow, that's some hate, because Molly Ringwald was known more for just being a ginger girl. She was kind of like one of the heartthrobs of the 80s.
Isn't that weird? Like thinking back, like you guys, I mean, you're very confident in your sexuality, I'm sure both of you. So you can say Jake Ryan was a hot man, but like Molly Ringwald was so average, and she was like the lead in every movie back in the 80s.
That, you know what, I got to tell you guys, I want to take it back to our last conversation. Since you said that, I was something that I wanted to bring up, but you're harping on it right there. There's a couple things about Bill Murray that just blows me away to this day. Number one, like he starred in all of these movies that were blockbuster movies back in the day, and movies that we all consider to be classics, and he has created a lane and a career for himself. But he's consistently played an asshole in every movie. Like he's been like he's dry. Yeah. And he's like
he's supposed to be the unlikable person.
He's kind of unlikable that you kind of are forced to like him in the end, for number one. And number two, and I hope no one takes this as judgy, but it's because of what you just said too. Yeah. He's been like the leading man,
right,
in all these movies that ends up with the hot chick at the end of the movie.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you go, Andy McDowell would not. No,
he's got, you know, he's not by any means an attractive guy. No. He's strikingly recognizable. But yeah, even in '84 with Ghostbusters, he scored, you know, prime Sigourney Weaver. And then, you know, I think Scarlett Johansson. I can't remember the actress's name from Rushmore. Well, Lost in Translation.
When did Bill Murray hook up? Like, in what movie was Scarlett
Lost in Translation?
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah. And this is latter years, Bill Murray.
If she walked into a Walmart and he was her checker, there's no way she would hook up with Bill Murray. That's why I always have to rate people. Like, if he was your checker at Walmart, would you hook up? Probably not.
But he's revered in such a sense. Like, I've never heard anyone critique him at all, other than Garfield. He did the voice of Garfield, but didn't even appear in it. Made fun of it, and when he did a little cameo in Zombieland, which I will say, in terms of a film appearance, those 15 minutes he spent in Zombieland, he made me laugh harder than any other film appearance he's ever done.
Really?
Yeah. He's funny in that.
Is he not taking roles because he's just sort of like at a point where he doesn't want to do it?
Yeah, that's been his whole career. He doesn't have an agent. He famously has a voice messaging service. You have to call him, leave a message, and apparently only pretty much Wes Anderson gets through. And then if he decides to get back to you, he gets back to you. That's it.
It's so weird.
Yeah, and you know, who knows who has that? How many people actually have that number?
He technically could still be big right now if he wanted to be, but it sounds
like it's
hard to reach.
But did he ever deserve to be? Like that's I guess that's what I'm very interested in, is that I have no problem with Bill Murray love.
Let's say it. He's pretty mediocre.
He's pretty lousy.
Who would you guys say you would say like he's today's so and so, like that gets a lot of roles, gets leading man like positions, but isn't that like, who do you think he would compare to now that maybe we'll look back in another 20 years and go, oh yeah,
Bradley Cooper. But he's really? actually that's not fair.
I like,
because I actually quite enjoy Silver Linings Playbook.
And he's pretty hot. I'll tell you, Bill Murray is.
Like, attractiveness, we could name it. You're right. If you want to go for an ugly guy who gets leading man role after leading man, this doesn't really happen anymore. Like right? you because at some point Hollywood realized you can be attractive and funny at the same time.
Well, you know, my daughter's always.
Hence Ryan Reynolds.
Did you ever watch the show, or have you watched New Girl? with Zooey Deschanel. Well, there's like the guy that's like kind of the heartthrob on that show was always Jake Johnson. And my daughter's always like, I don't get it. And I'm like, I think it's because he is like he was kind of like Bill Murray, like kind of grumpy, not really that likable. But then they kind of make it like where girls are like, oh, that's so sweet that he did one nice thing. You know what I mean? It's like that. Like they start out with the bar super low and then they build the bar up. And then you're like, oh, okay.
Right.
So they do it every once in a while, but it doesn't. I mean, now we've got the Ryan Reynolds of the world. That's Chad.
Yeah, well, you're funny. You're hot funny. I mean, even in the New Girl, Zooey Deschanel, she's supposed to be dorky. It's like, stop.
Oh yeah, no, she's still super cute. Pretty. But now she's with one of the Property Brothers.
I don't even know what a Property Brother is.
But you know the two brothers.
Is that like a pimp?
Like, do all the remodeling stuff. You know who the Property Brothers are.
I don't know the Property Brothers.
I know who the Property Brothers are. I do. They're big. They're actually really big, Zach.
No, they're really big, popular, but I feel like I still think Zooey Deschanel's too cute for.
Well, those guys are they come off as the handsome, good-looking twins that make a lot of money flipping houses, right? And they're Canadian.
I don't think attractive-wise, but I would be super pumped to have somebody that could just literally build a deck if I wanted it tomorrow. You know what I mean?
You don't think some women think they're attractive?
I'm sure some do. Yeah. I don't really get it, but
I think it's to me, it's harder to get on TV being unattractive now than it ever has been, which is odd because there's more TV than ever. Yeah. But like you don't see, I think the last gasp of it was probably King of Queens or something. You don't see fat guy, hot wife anymore.
No
one's could deal with that shit.
That was the dumbest stereotype forever. That every sitcom you go, there's no way she would settle for him.
Mm-hmm. No way. You had Kevin James, Leah Remini. I mean, to a lesser extent, Ray Romano, and whatever his wife's name was. But like, it's not like she was like, a starlet, but like clearly who's going to kiss Ray Romano?
The guy could be frumpy and just a 3 or a 4.
Yeah.
And the wife had to be at least a 7.
Yeah.
Welcome to our world, guys. Welcome to our world. We're judged for everything.
Well, here we are.
Older and you look better.
It is true. I do look better at 40 than I did at 20.
Well, because I think when you guys get like the silver and stuff, it looks really good. If I let my hair go silver, I would look like a nagging shrew. Like it would not be pretty.
I like the silver look sometimes.
No, but some people look great in it. I have a few I know some people that like have gone completely silver and it looks like platinum blonde basically. But for me, I would look like a homeless woman. It would not be pretty.
She's trying.
And then there's George Clooney, and you go, gosh, what the heck?
But we never even knew George Clooney without gray.
Barely, yeah. I mean, like in fact, when he was starting out as an actor, wasn't he on Facts of Life? And he was this skinny dork.
Was he Facts of Life or Roseanne? I can't remember. It was Facts of Life.
Yeah,
and he was like a tutor or something, a teacher.
Yeah, like he grew into his looks. Like he got hotter every year he got older.
Which, by the way, can we break up the Facts of Life? Where it was a show about 5 women, and only one was known as the hot one. So there were 4 other shows. Yeah. There were 4 other women on that show that were just women characters.
Right.
Well, they had roles. There was Jo. She was the tomboy. She
was. Yeah. But I mean, they were just they weren't on there. And then you flash forward to, show you mentioned Friends.
Yeah.
Good luck getting on there.
Right.
Not being attractive.
Yeah. There's no chance.
No chance. Whereas the Ghostbusters were all hideous.
Yeah, not one of them would no. I wouldn't have hooked up with one of them, I don't think.
Was there ever a black person on Friends? Did they ever have any black friends?
Yes.
They did have Aisha Tyler for
Aisha Tyler dated Ross because that would have happened.
Yeah, for a season. But I mean that's
I always wanted to be that. I wanted to be the black friend.
Right?
Bring me on. I could do something. Deliver pizza or something.
They didn't even have a token black character.
No, sadly, when Aisha Tyler was cast, it was almost like they finally were like, man, it's kind of obvious that this is a very white show.
We're in New York and there's white people.
Yeah. And so they threw her into the cast, and I think that only lasted maybe a season or season and a half, but yeah, they needed a little more diversity in there. Yeah. Did you see?
Did they know it's the most successful show of all time? I don't based on the people that were watching it. Now we look back at it and be like, okay, they're in New York. And not only like whatever, you only have white friends. That's one thing. But they go out into New York City all the time. And there's not black people there either.
Nobody drinking coffee.
Really,
Nobody
just
reading the paper.
hanging out during the day. No one has a job.
Exactly.
It'd be amazing. That life would be so much fun.
And I think if they would have done it, not that they were the most successful sitcom ever, right? But
close, yeah, up there.
I mean, close to what them and Seinfeld.
Yeah, my daughters watched the whole all 10 episodes probably twice. So that one kind of stands the test of time too. Like it's kind of got the humor's kind of right on. And what's even weirder is you look back and I feel like a lot of the things they wear or their hair and stuff, I'm like, I would do that today.
You know what? I never watched.
Weird.
I never watched Seinfeld.
No, I'm talking about Friends.
And I watched a few episodes of Friends after it was in when I watched some reruns with my wife back in the early 2000s. But
it's really good. But I think can I just vent about something though that does have to do with Friends, but I feel like you guys would have an opinion on this. Matthew Perry got engaged recently and his fiance is 23 and he's 56 or 57.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One in Rome.
He's getting high-fived, right? All his friends are like, nice. And he's not aged well. Poor Matthew Perry,
Can I pause right there?
Bad a while back, but go ahead.
Yeah.
No, he's not. No, but nobody's high-fiving. I don't know. I understand that men and women don't always understand each other. Mm-hmm. And Terry, maybe this is different than your world. But if one of your friends, let's even you're not Matthew Perry's age, but if one of your friends got engaged to a 23-year-old, when's the last time you high-five someone?
Okay,
how do you think men communicate?
Would you pat him on the back? Would you be like, nice job?
None of that. None of that.
If I went out and started dating a 20-year-old, everybody would think I'd lost my mind.
I would be more likely to, if I were to congratulate anybody, I'd congratulate you more than I would.
Really? You'd be like, see, and here's the thing, my ex-husband married someone that's quite a bit younger than him, and they're actually going to have a baby very soon. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't imagine diapers and strollers and all that over again. You know what I mean? Yeah. So for me, I'd be like, oh my gosh, why would you date someone so much younger than you because of that stuff? But I also always wonder how you would have conversations with someone like Matthew Perry with his 23-year-old girlfriend. There's so many references that you would make that they would not have a clue about.
And that's kind of what I was thinking. When you said it at first, I was visualizing it. I was thinking in my brain, that would be pretty cool. Then all of a sudden, the reality of the situation came crashing down on me, and I don't think I would high five my friend. I probably would be like, "Yo, what are you thinking? Man?
Do you guys have anything to talk about?" I just feel it's a double standard. It's okay for guys, but for girls, it's everyone makes it seem creepier.
I disagree. I think it's the total opposite, Jackie. Because I think if you at your age, and I don't know what your age is,
112,
old. You're an old person,
a relic.
Wear it well.
Thank
gross.
You so much. I'm super old.
But if you got a younger guy, that would be based on some sort of merit. You got that. Like Matthew Perry. Yeah. She's not in love with him.
She's in love with Chandler.
Yeah, exactly. Or she's in love with his residuals, or she's in love with the mansion he has. Yeah. Where I feel like if there are a lot more judgments. It's kind of like sex toys. Yeah. I was just talking about someone the other day. If Jackie, if you got a younger guy, I feel like at this time in our existence, people good for you, Jackie. Get that young thing.
You get some girl.
But an older guy, there's always this assumption being made, creepy, or they're only in it for your money, or you brought up.
Yeah.
How Amanda Gorman, who just read a poem at Joe Biden's inauguration, is 22. She could probably carry on a decent conversation. But the young, it's always this assumption that these young women couldn't carry on a conversation. So there's this predatory thing. And I don't think that happens.
I just think they wouldn't know a lot of the stuff we lived through, references and things.
Yeah. I mean, but really, how often do you want to refer to the past anyway? Like how much?
You mean like on a daily basis? You don't go, gosh, remember that Boston concert? You don't do that?
Wow.
Is that Boston?
No, I don't know.
That is Boston.
I feel like there's just a different bond if you're with someone that went to, say, even high school the same 4 years as you. You know what I mean? Like around, because you would remember big things that happened at those times in the news or whatever.
You know what's funny? I agree with you, Jackie, to a certain extent, but I wouldn't even go that far with it. I'm cutting it off at like literally, what do you guys do? I mean, I know it's great to have this eye candy to wake up and look at, every now and again. That's young until maybe 10 more years. But like, for instance, my age right now, 9 is my new midnight. Like,
I know, right?
9 o'clock rolls around, and I'm looking for the covers and the couch, and that's it. Somebody that's 25 years old at 9 o'clock, their engine is barely getting started.
You don't even leave for a club until 11.
At least. So
that'd be a rough one. That'd be a rough go of it, I think.
Yeah. So I don't know. I that's where I would draw the line at.
Yeah, I don't know. I just saw that about Matthew Perry, and I saw the picture of him, and I was like, dang, he's just not aged the best. And then David Schwimmer's either wife or fiance is a good 20 or more years younger than him too. So
that's a different lifestyle, you have to admit, I guess. I mean, I think none of those people live in reality. Their whole existence is different. They've been in a different bubble since forever, and so the rules that apply to the rest of us don't apply to them.
See, you'd almost expect if Matthew Perry married, you said he's in his 50s. If he married somebody else in his 50s, that would be a lot more surprising than him marrying much younger, right?
In Hollywood, you're probably right. Yeah. I decided it was like 2 weeks ago that was it Mega Millions was like at $1 billion and
close, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like literally naming off the people I would buy if you know what I mean? Like, oh, I could break up Ryan Reynolds' marriage. I could totally yeah, like because I mean money talks, guys.
Yeah.
$1 billion.
Unfortunately, I mean it's the truth. It is the truth. Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw this, but did you see the latest in the NBA with LeBron James?
No, what happened?
So LeBron James was playing a basketball game. I believe it was in Atlanta.
Yes.
And there was a couple of that were heckling from the sideline. It was actually a man, and they had courtside seats. And they said something obviously offensive, super offensive to LeBron, and it caused a commotion. And they ended up getting kicked out, and it was all on tape. But it was a younger lady, maybe she thinks she was 25 years old. She's bedazzled. She has all the designer, everything. Her husband looks like he probably 60?
Oh my god! So trophy wife and her.
Oh yeah, but she was the one that was going at LeBron. She was
how
the one.
Embarrassing!
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
Did you hear what she said? Could you hear it or no?
Oh yeah, it's all on tape. Like she was going ballistic. She was bleep bleep this, bleep that, bleep that. You're not gonna talk to my husband like that. Bleep.
Right.
Wow.
And they got escorted out. But it's turned into a big hubbub now because she's saying LeBron called her a B and
called her a B, a little B.
Yeah, called her a little B.
Well, it sounds like she was being a little B.
She
was.
I
feel like they shouldn't get fined if somebody starts something and they reply.
I don't know if LeBron is getting fined.
I was going to say I don't feel like they should get in trouble for that because it's like if that person didn't open their mouth, like LeBron would have just been playing basketball.
You would think.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
And I mean, that's what he came to do. He didn't come to go back and forth with a sugar daddy and his sugar baby on the sideline.
Can you imagine the whole like being stared at and knowing everyone knows you're like that would be so embarrassing.
And it's a small audience because of COVID. It's like only a select few people were allowed to come in and watch this game. And
how have they been doing that, Terry? Like how have they been so 25,000 people get to go to the Super Bowl. How does that work?
I know that they're doing like 7,500 or first responders, people who have been on the front lines.
That's nice.
They've given them the tickets to go watch the game.
Okay.
I think the rest was probably on a lottery.
Oh, okay. I just saw it today and I was like, how do you get those tickets?
Yeah, I would assume it's a lottery, because there's no way that you can just put those up for sale and then they'd be gone instantly.
Yeah.
So.
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, the day of the game, people sell them for what, $25,000 a ticket?
Oh yeah, they go up. They go up. So
Terry, I want to know if you've ever been in that situation though, where you're with a woman who is creating a stir, and you're the one who's going to have to deal with it at some point. Like, let's just say, let's use just a bar as an example. Someone bumps into somebody, a drink is spilled, and she starts going crazy at whoever did it. Past the point of like, okay, the mistake normalcy. Was made. Yeah. And you realize like, well, at some point I have to make this awful decision whether I just leave her out to dry. And then that's probably the last time you're seeing her. Or now, because she's so goddamn mouthy, now I have to get into a potential physical altercation.
Yeah. I've never personally been in that situation on that side of it. But if you guys will indulge me for a second, I got a quick story for you.
Oh my God! Every time Terry says that, it gets amazing. For a quick second, please. So Terry was with Suge Knight, and okay, go ahead. Yes,
it's close to it. I went to go watch the Avengers Endgame. I had like sneak preview tickets at the Redmond Gold Theater where the reclining chairs and all that stuff, whatever, right? And so I really wanted to see the movie a lot. So I made sure all my devices were muted, no ringers, nothing, right? So we watched the whole movie, no issues. We get almost to the end, like there's literally like 5 minutes left in the movie. And I leaned to the side. I got up and leaned to the side, and I have my keychain has this thing on it called the tile. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the tile.
You lose it or whatever.
If you lose your keys, this will find your keys for you. Or if you lose your phone, and you press this button, it'll make your phone go make a noise, right? God. So I moved and I pressed my button in my pocket, and my phone.
You pressed the tile.
And then somebody's girlfriend, because they serve drinks in there.
Oh yeah.
Turn off your damn phone. and I lost it.
You did? You're so cool, calm, and collect.
I usually am. What? At that moment, though, I think I was just going through a bunch of stuff. I was upset and sad and mad and all that stuff. Yeah. And the phone had been silent the whole movie. And she was really rude about it. Like if you heard something and it went quick and I shut it off.
Yeah, like you could tell it was not meant to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Turn off your damn phone. And I said, shut the fuck up!
I would have been laughing so hard if I'd seen that. But I would have been on your side. I think I would have been on your side because I hate bitchy people.
I was so mad though, like that it just came out instantly. Like it was so much venom when I said it. And I didn't know where it came from because it's in a pitch black thing, right? And so I said it, and I watched the next 5 minutes of the movie. I don't know what happened because I was enraged. And I went like this. I sat up and I went like this.
Who were you with?
I was with my friend Lamar. My friend Lamar.
So it wasn't like your wife or your kid.
No, I was with another gentleman.
Okay.
And so I could tell he got nervous, and then I could tell everybody. Like, so then I put my hood up, right?
Yeah.
And I sat. I don't know what happened. We sat through the whole credits. You sit through the credits at the Avengers, right? Oh my God. So the movie's over, and I'm just the credits are done, and people are filing out, and I'm just sitting in my seat like this. I'm still mad. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when people honk at you when the light barely turns green, like you don't even have time to put your foot on the gas.
But Terry, did the person you yelled at, did they know it was you?
I'm the only black dude in the theater.
Yeah, I was gonna guess it was Redmond.
Yeah, and so I'm sitting there, and he walks over to me. He goes, "I'm so sorry."
Oh my gosh!
so sorry, man.
Was it the boyfriend? So it was the
boyfriend. He didn't want that smoke.
Well, Terry, you're not a small guy either. So
well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
he's gonna have to pay the price for what his girlfriend's yappy face just said.
Just the black dude is sitting in the movie theater like this with his hoodie on.
Yeah.
Waiting for everybody to come out. I'm sorry. I want to can I had a little minutes to drink. I already made her go to the car. We're cool, right?
Yeah.
We're cool.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
So yeah, there's my version of it.
You could have scared him and acted like you were still mad, but I bet you were super nice. And you're like, no.
I was like, it's cool, man. Now it's cool.
He did scare him.
Yeah,
like
sure.
Had he just left the theater, like he felt like he needed to make amends.
Oh, absolutely.
So like even I think you wouldn't have stormed after them, obviously. I would think, Terry, maybe.
You don't know who you're ticking off. Did you guys see that movie Unhinged with Russell Crowe?
I haven't seen that one.
It's on demand right now. Basically, it all starts with somebody honking their horn. And then there's a lot of violence from that one horn honking because you chose the wrong person on the wrong day. So it's kind of like you just don't know, though, who you're being, who you're saying something rude to.
Well, that I take it back to my younger days when I was younger and wilder and more reckless. Things might have transpired in a situation like that for sure. And I've seen crazier things happen for way less.
That's the thing. It can be almost nothing.
I've seen people get their shoes stepped on. And again, quick story. I remember one time I was downtown Seattle and it was the late 90s. And it was a parking spot at a nightclub and I was pulling into it. And there was a guy walking and I didn't see him. And I was just backing into it. And he was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I was like, I was like, man, I didn't see you. And he goes, you got to be careful out here, man. You can lose your life over a parking spot. And he pulled up his shirt and he had a gun up under his shirt. He said, you can lose your life over a parking spot. And I was like, from that day on, I'll be like, okay.
Yeah, no. I literally always think about the fact that you don't know who you are honking at or flipping off in traffic. Because I feel like I would get the Ted Bundy of the group. Like I would get the person or the Green River Killer. We are kind of in a serial killer area. I just know that I don't trust myself to like go off on somebody and then be able to back it up.
So you mean back it up physically?
Yeah, because I'm like 5'2". I'm like not super intimidating. And so if I like flip someone off just because I'm all, thinking I'm being sassy, I'm probably going to end up dying. So I just like keep it to myself.
I feel like, yeah.
You have to. I mean, like scary in a movie and then you just lose your mind.
And that's
which I do kind of love.
I'm unfortunate. I'm working on it, guys. Honestly.
Good.
The guy that you guys see on a daily basis is who I'm trying hard to be.
You're a big teddy bear.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, there are people who are watching this and who know me and have known me in the past. I have always been a teddy bear.
Yeah. Your reaction at the movie theater would have absolutely floored me if I were there.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I think because I just know you're as someone who played football, like you need to have that aggression beneath the surface, and you had it for so long. I don't think he's a ticking time bomb. I think he's got it under control, but I think that he needed to have it there and had it there for so long that, of course, like it bubbles up every so often. I don't think Terry is an overall angry person, but I could see you exploding every once in a while, like you did at Endgame.
Theater.
Because
what about you, Zach? Are you an anger ball ever?
Yeah, I mean, I'm constantly assaulting.
Or you just let it go all the time, and then you're not a ticking time bomb because you just let it go in little spurts.
No, I'm not an angry person. I'm an annoyed person. But I'm kind of just like a slowly deflating balloon. So it never like it never. And I've never there's never been a time in my life where I needed to have that level of aggression the way that Terry did.
Have you gotten in a fist fight?
Oh, several fist fights. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's something I feel like a lot of us girls will never experience.
No, you don't.
Great thing.
No, instead you say something incredibly hurtful that lasts in someone's psyche for 6 years.
Exactly.
Rather than just slap one another.
Cut him with just a rude comment that they will have to go to a therapist for.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, you devastate each other, and I feel like much worse ways than guys do.
Yeah, I feel like we don't live that way.
I was telling my girlfriend a story the other day. Like there was marijuana around a lot in high school. I can't even remember where it always came from. But there was this one kid that we'd always give fake marijuana to. His name was Ryan.
Is that like parsley?
Oregano.
Oregano? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oregano? Okay.
So one night, my friend Steve is like, I'm giving Ryan fake pot tonight, and if he pretends to be high again, I'm going to punch him in the face. And Steve rolls Ryan a joint, and it's oregano. And Ryan, takes a couple of puffs, is like, oh my God, this is so good. Like, just bad acting high. Like, the kind of movie, when you watch a movie about how bad pot was, it was like he was just doing that. Steve immediately punches him in the face and knocks him out. And then we were like, yeah, well, that's what he said he was going to do.
He did it.
And then
didn't do it.
So then picks him up from the ground, says, stop fucking faking that you're high. We give you fake shit all the time. And Ryan's like, all right, I won't anymore. Friends, 8 seconds later.
Well,
we gave him real pot. Everything was cool. This happened at like 7:14. By 7:16, it never happened. Where I feel like with teenage girls, one would say something emotionally devastating.
Yeah.
And like you'd still be telling that story to a therapist.
Oh yeah,
not to a podcast.
Really mean girl would say something about an eating disorder or something, and the person would be like,
just
shattered.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I mean, how do you not know that you wouldn't punch someone and like really hurt them?
Well, I mean, that'd be the idea.
Terry could kill someone if you punched him. He's got some guns.
That happened once.
Right?
Terry killed someone with a punch.
Well, pretty close.
If he may indulge us with a story.
Well,
I'd like to hear it.
No.
I
don't know how far the statute of limitations go.
Right? Maybe after this you'll like figure out the years and go, maybe the next time we're together I'll tell them.
No, he was. Somebody was running at me, and they shouldn't have been. And I was, I wasn't gonna get caught. So he got. I feel
like if I were a guy, I would never get in fistfights because I'd always be worried about hurting my teeth. Do you guys not think of that stuff? Like in the heat of the moment, you're like, "Oh man, just don't hit me in the face."
Jackie, there's something I think you should know if you don't know this yet, and allow me to be the one to break the news to you.
Yeah.
Men are stupid.
Oh, so you guys don't.
We're pretty stupid. We don't take things like that in consideration, especially as young men.
When it's happening, you're like, whatever. I'm young. I
got
plenty of teeth.
I kind of wanted to see what I looked like with the tooth missing when I was like 17.
Oh my God.
I thought that might have looked cool and tough at one point.
Maybe.
Now,
years now. I mean, everyone, you can do that. You can have some choppers.
But not now. But that's what I'm saying. There comes a certain point where I think we sort of wisen up about some things. Like right now, I have nightmares about my teeth. Like
curb stomping. I have a curb stomping nightmare.
Ooh, yeah.
I know, and I don't even get in fights with people physically yet. I think about curb stomping.
Well, one thing, Jackie, there's a difference between getting in fights, and then there's a different situation where curb stomping gets involved.
Think your
that's not a fight. That's a murder. If you get curb stomped, you've been murdered. That's your cause of death.
You may not die though, but your teeth are gone.
You will die if someone curb stomps you. Every time curb stomping is a method to kill you. Okay, if not, leave you in a significant coma for quite a while. I watched
an episode of Your Honor this last week, and the guy was on the stand, and he got curb stomped, and he survived.
He knocked all his teeth out, though?
I'm sure he has fake teeth now, but they didn't really get into that on this witness stand. But I was like, oh, God, to me, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Because when you're stressed out, don't people always have dreams about clenching their jaw and their teeth are shattering?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I have that dream where my teeth
I know. It's the worst.
Or when they're just so brittle, they just fall out. And I wake up,
Every year we get older, we have nightmares about our teeth. Isn't that sad?
I get older every year, and I have never had a nightmare about my teeth.
Really?
Nor curb stamping, no.
You're very confident in your dental situation, then, I guess.
Yeah. Must be.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I do live in, a Western medicine nation where I have fluoride and a dentist.
Yeah, I mean, we all do, but that doesn't mean we don't stress out about curb stomping, okay? You're in a safe place, Zach. You can tell us.
I think you're the one that actually needs to explore a safe space if you're worried about curb stomping.
That is in the suburbs too. I'm like, this mom in the suburbs. Like, there's no curb stomping going on.
I was about to say, can you imagine the person, Zach, that would, first of all, not let alone beat up Jackie, but would curb stomp her? Like, who is that person?
Right.
That's the son of Satan.
Yeah.
I watch ID Channel a lot, you guys, and I think there's someone out there that would do it.
I don't know what ID channel is. I question everything
You don't know what
you're
ID
watching.
channel is? Oh my
I
goodness.
know. No, what is
the channel that's all true crime stories?
Oh, well, that's probably putting you at ease.
So when I get curb stomped, I'll be on ID channel finally. I'll be a star.
Do you realize that probably the reason that curb stomp is such a go-to verb for you is because you watch nothing but true crime channels?
Probably, yeah.
And straight to video, violent Russell Crowe movies that no one's heard of.
No, that's like one of the like on-demand movies right now, the new movies.
Yeah.
My friend,
all the kids are talking about it.
Well, we were watching it, we go, like, why? Like, how did they do like a 2.5 hour movie about?
I was walking by some teenagers saying, like, "Hey, cuz, you seen the new Russell Crowe movie?" And I was like,
"It's not good."
The youth are interested. Unhinged. Yeah.
I'll say this: for the price of buying an on-demand movie, there's some very creative, violent scenes in it. So
Sure.
I never thought of that. There were a few of those. But he's super fat in it. Oh.
It's a fat Russell Crowe?
Oh, fat, mean, angry, traffic.
That's only Russell Crowe now. Russell Crowe gained weight to play Roger Ailes, and that's just he's gonna be fat from now on.
Going back.
Yeah.
It does not look like him at all. The Gladiator days are gone.
Very long time ago. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But he was very angry, and I just I was kind of sad because he was fat Russell Crowe, and I was stuck watching it at home because of COVID. I mean, it was just not a good day.
No.
That's why I can't do that. I can't watch it. I can't watch ID channel. My psyche is not up.
You need happy stuff right now, right?
Yeah, I have to.
No, there are some things that I will start watching, and if it's really like, I was watching American Horror Story Cult because my son's like, "You got to watch this," and I get like
my kid did the same thing, but go ahead.
I get so many episodes in, and I'm like, wow, like it was getting so violent. And I was like, I am not a wuss. Like, I'm not like this, I censor everything at my house. But it was so violent that I was like, God, this is kind of depressing right now. Like, I can't watch this.
How
so I stopped.
How old is your son?
He's 21.
Okay. So my kid is just turned 19.
Okay.
And I have another one that's 15. But they were like, "Oh, Dad, you got to watch American Horror Story." And I'm like, "Well, I want to watch this scary movie, the scary show, series, whatever." I turn it on, and I'm like, "Holy crap, my kids are watching this?"
Which one? Now, there's been like 10 which one were they watching?
Like, so it's the TV series, right?
Yeah.
American Horror Stories. I just started on season 1.
Oh, gosh.
I started on season 1, and they're like, it's like weird, crazy, death.
Season 1 spooky.
Like,
that's creepy.
Chick gets her eye taken out. There's just a lot of like the guys having sex with a ghost. I mean, like, I'm like,
what?
I'm like, kid, are you watching this? I'm not watching this.
I liked Coven. I thought Coven was a good one. American Horror Story Cult is almost too close to home because it picks up the night that Donald Trump won the election.
Oh boy.
And so, yeah, it's really close to home, and you're like, gosh, I feel like I was just there.
I lived that.
Yeah, I had to bail on that one about 4 episodes in. I was like, I can't do it.
Yep. That's where I've been for the last 5.5 years. And then throw in the pandemic on top of it. I was like looking for Sesame Street.
Right? I feel like we're running out of funny shows. Like, we need more comedies right now, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to find them on the fucking true crime channel. Maybe you're looking at the wrong channel.
Educational, Zach. I will get jumped.
You're constantly in fear of being curb stomped. I don't know if that's education. And stop pretending that you're learning from it.
Here's the deal.
Name a fact.
If I wanted to poison you tomorrow, I would know exactly how to do it.
I would know how to do it too. I'd know how to poison you. The shit that cleans your windows.
Well, that's going to be too obvious. Did you know there's a roadside flower that would kill you?
Oh, Lord have mercy, Jackie. Quit telling on yourself.
Well, I'm just saying, I've learned a lot from it.
Well, I'm just saying the best place to look for comedies is not where your
if I need comedies, I could go back to all my classic sitcoms. Okay.
Right.
But when I want to really deep dive into how I'm going to kill you guys, ID channel's it.
Well, Jackie, it was good talking to you.
Yeah, this was good.
You guys never gonna have me back again?
No, we're gonna have you on all the time, every time, always.
As many times you want to come back now.
Yeah,
I love you guys.
Keep that flower away from me. Let's just do that.
It's just a small wild weed.
I happen to know where they grow.
They're like usually in between the highway. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'll pass.
I really should say that because if something ever happened to somebody, like I'm divorced, they'd come to me first. This podcast would be in court. Like I swear it wasn't me.
Do you guys know who did it?
Wait, are you okay, Jackie?
I'm good at Jackie. She watches ID Channel a lot.
All right, should we send someone over there? Are you
moment?
Down?
No, I'm good.
Are you sure? Is your cup full of roadside poison weeds?
I'm pretty boring. No, it's just kind of interesting the things people use, and I'm always like, really?
Yeah, it sure is. I'm always interested in murder weapons. So, what makes you laugh?
Whatever. I'm not gonna defend my TV choices to you, Zach. What do you watch? What do you watch on like a regular basis if you need to like just chill?
To just chill. Lately I've been watching a lot of Gordon Ramsay stuff. There's something comforting about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
These shows are very relaxing.
Yeah, even though he's just screaming at everybody all the time. I like that.
It's not you, so it's like
it's not me, and the people always have it coming, but he doesn't kill anybody. So it might not be your cup of tea.
No, I love Chopped, or is it Chopped where they have to do the mystery basket?
Yep.
I just find that very interesting.
Yeah.
Like how will you work gummy bears into the steak dish?
I'll make a nice demi-glace.
Right?
No, that is Chopped. Terry, what are you? What makes you laugh now that we've seen what makes Jackie laugh, which is murder?
I laughed at the arson.
Murder.
I'm pretty positive you do.
No, I don't. I swear. I take notes.
I'm
just kidding.
I don't know.
It's fun to mess with you guys.
You know what? I watch to make me laugh.
Have you watched Schitt's Creek? That's funny.
I watched all of Schitt's Creek. That was really damn funny. I'm really sad that it had to end.
I know. Me too.
Yeah, it was that was one of the best comedies I've seen in a long time.
I know. I loved it.
I watch Old School Martin. I love Martin Lawrence. Martin. I watch Old School Martin sometimes. I go through and look at like some new stand-ups.
Stand-up specials are good right now.
Stand-up specials are good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm into, man.
Dude,
and then of course, The Sopranos.
Oh yeah, we have to do a whole episode, Terry, of just talking about The Sopranos.
Dude, I
think Breaking Bad was one of the best dramas.
Absolutely was. I did Breaking Bad in real time.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did Breaking Bad in real time. I watched it as it I think I missed the first season, and then I binged the first season, then I straight up. The rest of
that'd be so hard to wait each week in between that with the way that show.
That one and Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, see, I've never watched that. That's good.
Oh my God, it's good. It's good. It's really good. Yeah, so I watched that in real time too.
Did you enjoy it till all the way to the end?
Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah.
It had some weird seasons that kind of diverted from the main thing, but I think it ended pretty strong. Like it ended real strong.
It's just they were like this. It's about a biker gang who had a tiff or two with other biker gangs, and then by season 4, they're like fighting the entire Mexican army.
Oh my gosh!
And there's always just 6 of them. 4 of them are horrendously out of shape. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, they fought the whole Mexican army, but then there was that season where they also went to like Ireland and fought like the Northern Irish.
That show on the road. That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Weird.
Yeah, they had a European chapter.
They did.
Of biker gang, and they were over there.
Odd.
Yeah, they're fighting blokes overseas.
Yeah, they had that one Irish guy.
They might have lost me at that point. I don't know if I give you credit for sticking it out.
It was a good show.
It's good.
I just love I used to do a shot every time someone said, "I'm just doing what's best for the club."
Yeah,
for the club.
Just doing.
It's not a gang. It's a club.
Jackie, what do you got to promote? Anything?
Gosh, in life or I do my show each day for Salt Lake City from my house here now. 9 to 9. So you can listen to that online.
94.9. What kind of music is that again?
It's God, I've got this weird thing hanging out from my hair. Sorry. This is what happens when you're on a Zoom call. You notice you've got hair sticking up in places. Well, my son just walked in, and I specifically told him that I was going to be doing a podcast and to not come in the door before 7 p.m.
Yeah.
And he walks in with 3 minutes to go.
Well, he did his best.
He tried hard.
He's been living at home since March because of the pandemic. It's been super fun.
I bet.
So I do. No, it's 97.9. So it's like
97.9.
Yeah. And then I do real estate too. I've been selling. It's crazy with the interest rates so low. Like it's been really busy actually.
Yeah, it's a seller's market out there. What they say.
Well, I've had all buyers and they're getting great deals because their mortgages are so low right now with the rates. So it's just been busy and doing stuff around my house, taking advantage of it while I'm not, out and about as much.
Good.
Yeah. Not dating because it's a pandemic, but
There's that.
I know. I know people though that are still going on dating sites and like dating, like meeting people and going on a date. So I'm like, God, I just don't know right now if I have it in me.
It's living on the edge right there.
I don't know. Yeah. Like, I don't know if I want to blind date enough during a global pandemic to do it right now.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd have to really connect with someone before it'd be worth the risk of seeing them in person, I would guess.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So Murder Fanatics, she is single.
Yeah.
And
it's called true
questionable in terms of sanity. But if you have a curb stomp fetish and like fat Russell Crowe.
No, I don't like fat Russell Crowe.
And pigs.
And pigs.
Oh, I do love my pig.
Right.
Barbara.
And disapprove of Matthew Perry's marriage, then you might want to send Jackie a message.
And I have yippy dogs. People love yippy dogs, right? Don't guys love that?
Yeah. My favorite.
Mm-hmm. Very loud.
Well, Jackie, thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure.
I love you guys.
And Terry, talk to you again on Thursday.
I shall be here, my friend.
All right. You can download this in a couple of minutes as soon as I upload it wherever podcasts are fine. Thanks, everybody. Share this if you can, and we'll